Yeah, so he was going in the. Oh, we on. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? Left-handed in the building. All right. I just flew in from Philly, man, and boy, my arm's tired. Word up. I got my Code D in the building, Yada Bear right there. We in the building live and direct just before kickoff. It's
Yeah.
championship Sunday. Some people say it's the best Sunday of the year. It is for some people this year. You know, there you go. So yo, without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you the home team of the NFC Championship game today. The Code D in the building. Yada Bear was good.
Hey, hey, hey.
Da-da-da-da-da.
What's going on? Today is the day. Today is the day that we find out if all that hard work that we've been putting in the whole season will pay off with us moving on to the Super Bowl. It's been, a couple years since we host the NFC Championship game, but it feels right. It feels right for the NFC to go through Philly. I'm excited. I'm anxious. I'm always nervous before an Eagles game, but I feel like, my guys are going to get this done all week. I've been hearing nothing but San Francisco propaganda all week on every channel. Everybody is bigging up the 49ers, Brock Purdy, this, Brock Purdy, that. It's like you would think that he was the first overall pick in the draft, last year, the way they hyped him up. They hyped him up like he's the second coming Joe Montana, Steve Young.
Hmm.
They giving him all the praise, all of them. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, wow, are we not the number one seed in the NFC? Did we not own the NFC this entire season? Did we not destroy the Giants last week? Have we not destroyed everybody that came in our path? The lack of disrespect for the Eagles is ridiculous. But it's okay, We've been underdogs, but now we the big dogs. We the dogs in this fight. Okay? We hungry. We always hungry. We stay hungry in Philly. Okay? We always hungry. And today I feel like we're gonna feast on these sunshine boys from the West Coast. We bringing back that East Coast West Coast rivalry.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
we bringing that back. Okay,
Okay, I
East
see
Coast
you.
West Coast. You got Jerry Rice on the sideline out there with his big chain. He rocking that big chain. We about to snatch that chain right off. We gonna snatch it and punt it. Okay,
You
get
just
that
snatch it
weak
and give
stuff
it.
out of
You
here.
snatch it and give it back to
Snatch it. Everybody know Philly good for snatching chains. We
him.
gonna
Man,
snatch that
listen.
chain right off him.
Yeah, I feel like this is it right here. You got two the top teams in the NFC. The Eagles 15-3, the Niners 15-4. You can't ask for nothing else. This is what you play for all season, even back to September week one. You know what I mean? That could have an effect on where we are today. You see, the Eagles earned that right to host the NFC title game. So again, it's going to be very exciting. You could tell by the line. The line is very low. You know what I mean? This is really either a toss-em game, wherever you like. Either,
Hmm.
spot. You got the Eagles right there. You got the 49ers. They have, reason to believe they can come into this game and make some noise. What do you think the key to a Eagles victory is going to be in today's championship game?
I believe the key is going to be our defensive front. We got to get pressure on Brock. We got to make this kid feel uncomfortable in that pocket. We already know that it's going to be 1-2 ball out his hand. So we got to get there. We got to make him move in the pocket. We got to make sure that we win our one-on-one battles. Yes, I know they got Trent Williams there. We all know what type of beast he is on the offensive
Mm-hmm.
line. But then when you look across him, We got a guy like Josh Sweat there, who's fast on the end. We got a Fletcher Cox. We got a Hargrove. You know,
Salute.
we got we got Brandon Graham. We got dogs, and then we got the one guy that got snubbed. And Hassan Reddick, who's a beast with getting to the quarterback. We know that these guys like to throw the ball in the middle of the field. You know, we can't be playing none of that soft zone crap today. I need to
Mm-mm.
see man defense. I need to see one on one because we got corners. You know, we we got our safeties back. Avante Maddox is back. That's a big boost. They also activate Anthony Harris. Also, we got our man CJ out there. We
Mm-hmm.
got Blankenship out there. I need us to make tackles. I need us to swarm to that ball. So I need my linebackers. I need
Mm-hmm.
I need TJ. I need Kazir. I need all my guys to have a magnet for that ball. And of course,
I
they're
hear
going to
you.
come out here and do that flashy stuff because that's what the 49ers do. Little in the round stuff, direct snap to Debo, things like that, direct snap to Christian McCaffrey, little screenplays for them guys. And we just have to be ready for that. And we have to make tackles. Like, we have to make tackles. Tackling is one of the keys, and just, like I said, putting that pressure on Brock back there is a must.
No doubt. Um, for me, I think that one of the keys is that how well Philly's going to set up the pass to use the run. I think running against what the 49ers bring defensively, their front is going to be very, very challenging for the Eagles. I think that the Eagles are going to try to get AJ Brown and Devontae Smith one on one with those corners. And I think that again, the Eagles are going to look to get physical up front. It's still going to have that middle of the field to work with, where Dallas Goddard become more effective and a target. I think that Boston Scott and Kenneth Gainwell, and not forgetting Miles Sanders, notwithstanding, what I'm saying, they're going to use the ground game. How much the Eagles run the ball with Jalen Hurts is going to be interesting to see too. You know what I mean? Because again, he still is a factor. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? You still got a factor for him. Regardless of the situation with the shoulder. I heard that they had him, even training in practice or whatever, how to fall on the left shoulder. You know what I mean? So again,
Hmm.
how much he use Hurts in the running game is going to be key to seeing what the Eagles can do. But of course, I think they're going to move the ball. They're going to move the ball effectively. The offensive line, again, we talked about it last week. One of the best, going up against the Niners defensive front, one of the best. So we're going to see who's who. Which way the line moves. So
Hmm.
what happens with the Eagles? I think the crowd is going to be a big factor for them. I think the familiarity of knowing that these guys that play have similar opponents during the season, and how they play and react against each one of them. Now the rubber meets the road, so to speak. All right, so we're gonna figure out what the Eagles are gonna do, and the Niners are gonna figure out how to defend it, and vice versa. Where do you think the coaching matchup is going to fall with Nick Sirianni and Shanahan, Kyle
I
Shanahan?
mean, I mean, when you look at it on paper, of course, the advantage will go with Kyle because he has more success, and he has done this longer. He been in this situation, even as a coordinator with the Falcons when they went to the Super
Mm-hmm.
Bowl. Um, I mean, this would be what, his second NFC championship, and he was like one play away from it last season too. So um, he has more experience on that side, but I feel as though if Nick can just stick to his game plan, what has worked all season, like, there's no need to really change anything. Stick with what we do, and stick with what we do best. That's all I need. That's all I need to see. And on the defensive side, I need, Jonathan Gannon again. I can't see that soft zone, because that soft zone is where the 49ers excel from, because of all of the sweet spots in the middle of the
Mm-hmm.
field. And I need to see, if we need to make adjustments at halftime, then I need to see those halftime adjustments made on Gannon. And I need for the offense to stay aggressive. Just say we get a lead. I don't want us to try to ride that lead. No, I want us to stay aggressive and continue to put
You
points
don't
on
want
the
to milk
board.
the clock. Yeah, you
Yeah,
want to
because this
keep
is
your
a
foot on the
team that,
gas.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you can't just, take your foot off the gas and just try to cruise to a victory. I need us to stay aggressive on both ends, offense and defense. I want us to
Absolutely.
play this game as if we're behind the whole game, even if we had a lead. I just need
All
that
right.
aggressiveness to stay across the board.
All right. What do you think in regards to the 49ers? What are they going to have to do to, I don't want to say win, because that's a curse word in your situation, to stay competitive in this game?
Um, they will have to do what they do best. Also, protect Brock, keep him upright, um, try to establish a running game, and get the ball in their playmakers' hands on offense. And then on the defensive side, they're going to have to try to make Jalen uncomfortable in the pocket. You know, um, make him become indecisive. Definitely body up on our receivers. Try to, get them to make a mistake. Um, and what they probably do best is they probably put a spy on Jalen, because you have to have this guy accountable. You can't just lock down the receivers and just think you're going to throw the ball away, because he can take off and pick up 10 yards, 6 yards. He can turn what might have been a third and long into a third and short.
Mm,
And they have to keep the offense off the field.
no
You know,
doubt.
they have to win that third down battle to keep us off the field. And the same with the Eagles. I can say that vice versa. We have to win those third downs. We have to get these guys off the field. Clock management is going to be super key in this game.
No doubt. Again, I think what the 49ers need to do is establish the running game definitely. So Brock Purdy can take shots via the play action. I think you're gonna have Debo attacking from one level. You're gonna have Kittle on another level. I can't forget about Christian McCaffrey. Definitely can't forget about Debo. Again, Elijah Mitchell. He's going to be a guy that's going to be able to get 4 or 5 yards a clip. You know what I mean? You're going to stop that. Nick Bosa, like you said, they're going to have somebody that's going to be looking for Jalen Hurts. I think Nick Bosa coming off the edge is going to be key for the 49ers, as well as Fred Warner, playing at that middle level as linebacker for the 49ers to kind of like key on that running game and see what happens and keep that in check. But Christian McCaffrey, this is going to be, I think a game that he has to show, that why the Panthers, gave up, so much for him, and why the 49ers invested in Christian McCaffrey to add on to what they're doing on offense. Defensively, man, this is going to be a struggle. I think that the Eagles, that they're susceptible against, different run schemes. So the 49ers might be able to be a little effective in that note. But on the other side, though, man, I just think that it's going to be a great game. Before we get into the AFC Championship game, I want to give YADABEAR her time. She's been rocking with her Eagles all year long, hard body in the paint, win or lose, right? So I want you to give your team that pep talk before they head onto the field to do what they got to do. So this is your spot. It's on you. Talk to your team.
Listen, Only thing I want my guys out there doing is do what we did all season. This is just another game. You know, I don't want us to look into the future. I want us to focus on who we playing today. Today we're playing the 49ers. All right. We're going to take one play at a time, one snap at a time, and we're just going to go out there and play Eagles football. I want us to be extremely aggressive and show them that we are the big dogs, and then they're not just going to come here in Philly and just run all over us. Okay? We're going to go out there and we're going to do what we do best. We're going to take this down to the wire. We're going to walk out of there with our heads held up, holding the NFC Championship trophy. We will be going back to the big dance this year. Okay? We're going to go out there and we're going to show them Brock Purdy is Mr. Irrelevant. We're going to show you why he was drafted that low. Okay? Because, like I said earlier, everybody's putting this guy on this pedestal. They giving him all the accolades right now. But we are a different monster. We are not the Cowboys. We're not them. We're not the Seahawks.
I was interested.
We're not them. This is.
I was looking for a little bit more energy, but I guess we can get that as we get closer to kickoff.
Oh no,
I think he's going to really wild out.
Listen,
but we'll get that closer to kickoff
all season.
That's absolutely.
All season, so that's why
this pep
talk don't have to be extremely.
Okay.
Because this is what we do.
Okay, I see you.
This is business.
It's business. Okay, I see you.
Business. We coming in here and we're going to finish out what we started from the first game of the season, and that show our dominance. And we're going to lean on these guys. We're going to make them feel the pressure.
Shout out to AJ Swan. He's rooting for Philly, but I think the NFL wants to see the Bengals and the 49ers for a third time in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, they have played, prior they played in Detroit, and I think they played in Miami in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but the better story would be Andy Reid going against his former team in the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl, the Chiefs and the Eagles, right? I mean,
to me, that's the better story because Andy got there with the Eagles and he couldn't win the big game. He couldn't win one there. Then you have Doug Peterson come in, who was under the Andy Reid coaching tree, come to Philly and win the Super Bowl. He did something that Andy Reid couldn't accomplish here.
And he got a statue outside.
And he got this man, Andy Reid, been here in Philadelphia for about 12 seasons. He coached for like 12 seasons. And he couldn't win the big game. But then you have someone who was under his coaching tree come to Philly and win the game. Win the Super Bowl. So to have Andy and the Eagles play against each other in the Super Bowl, to me, that would be a story because he has so many things has happened in Philadelphia with Andy Reid, like just not in sports, but in his personal life.
Right.
Like he lost his son
too. Absolutely. That's right.
He lost his son here, That's the reason why we don't have training camp in Lehigh anymore because of what happened with his son there, his son dying there. So I feel like Eagles, Chiefs would be a better story than Bengals, 49ers. Yeah.
So that's what's up. So yeah, he says that's a good story also. I forgot about that, no doubt. Talking about the other situation going on in the AFC, you got the Cincinnati Bengals going into Kansas City. That's the later game. Look at that, a 6:30 kickoff. What are you thinking about that game in regards to who's going to come out and represent the AFC in the Super Bowl?
I would say it all depends on Patrick Mahomes' ankle. We have seen him, you know how they show clips of him at practice and it looks all good, he's jogging and things like that. But it's different in the game because your your defense is not swiping at your ankle, not trying to step on your foot and things like that. But in the game, I feel like it's going to be a different story. I did pick the Bengals to win just because
Mm.
of the history between the Chiefs and the Bengals. For some reason, the Chiefs can't beat the Bengals. It's a little weird to me that this is a team that they can't, get over the hump with. The Bengals make amazing defensive adjustments in the second half. That has been the story with their little series going back and forth. The Chiefs jump out to a largely hot start, and then second half come, Bengals make adjustments, and the next thing you know, we got the Bengals victory. So it's a tale of two halves. So I would definitely say look out for the hot start with the Chiefs, but can they sustain that through all four quarters? Because in the past they haven't. So it's going to be a close game. I'm still pick the Bengals, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs come out and win this game. Would I be surprised? No. What about you? Who do you see winning this?
Um, I think what happens with the Bengals and the Chiefs in where we are currently is that I think and I know I'm gonna probably catch something for this, but this is how I move. I think a little bit too much is being made into Patrick Mahomes' injury for the simple fact that he's not on crutches at practice. He's not really trying to think about that. You know what I mean? Don't want it to be a built-in excuse if they happen to not, win today or whatever. I don't want that to be the focus. Of course, Cincinnati's going to probably dial up the blitz, test that ankle out. They always put Patrick Mahomes under pressure when they play against each other. I think that Joe Burrow in Cincinnati just has to keep doing what they do. You know what I mean? Attack, attack, attack. You know, don't worry about what's happened in the past. Worry about what's in front of you right now. Kansas City's been known they have a propensity to get behind in these high stake playoff games. So it's going to be up to the Bengals to kind of like control what they have to do because Kansas City, I believe, is going to play ball control. They're going to try to keep Burrow and them off the field. So again, I think that when you talk about what Kansas City can do, they have all the weapons in the world. You know what I mean? They have enough to keep Cincinnati, at bay. But I think that drop 8 coverage that Cincinnati employs is going to be, kind of, a situation for Kansas City to have to deal with. Who do I think is going to win the game? I like Cincinnati.
Okay.
And not even on the strength of what's been going on prior in the series. I just think Cincinnati's the better team. I think Cincinnati's ready. I think Cincinnati, they got hot at the right time during the season because remember they had fell off for a minute.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
wow,
they
what
was.
happened to Cincinnati? Super Bowl
Yeah,
slump and all that. You know what I mean? But now
yeah.
here they are on the verge of a back-to-back Super Bowl appearance. And Kansas City Chiefs, again, they're at home. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, all that, Chris Jones, all that. I think that Cincinnati is going to do what they need to do. It's going to be close late, but I don't see Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City pulling out any miracles or defeating Cincinnati in today's game. So I'm looking for a good game. I'm looking for a close game, a great game. We'll be talking about it tonight, later on tonight. But I think Cincinnati's going to win.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing a big game from Chase. You know, I'm looking forward to see him have a couple of great catches and maybe score a couple touchdowns on that young Chiefs secondary. Again, another young secondary that Cincinnati's going up against, and I'm interested to see how the offensive line is going to hold up this week. The Bengals offensive line did great last week. I'm going to see if that's going to roll over to this week, um, especially with that left side. They got three out of five starters still out. So hopefully the success they had from last week will roll over to today's game.
All right. That's what's up. Listen, we're gonna do it like this. We do it different over here. That's my Cody over there, YADABEAR in the building, as y'all didn't know. Check out on Twitter. Know what I mean? Check me out at RMDes on Twitter. Yada, give me four people, four players who are gonna score touchdowns today. Four players.
But from both games?
From both games. From both games.
Or from both. Jalen, AJ, Kristen, Brandon Ayuk.
Okay. Go ahead. I got Pacheco. I got Travis Kelce. I got Jamar Chase. And I got Miles Sanders. I just think that kid Pacheco is going to be a factor.
Yeah.
He's wow. He's that dude. Of course, Jamar Chase, Travis Kelce, that's an easy pick. You know what I mean? And I think Miles Sanders is going to factor into it some kind of way. And those are the people who I think are going to score touchdowns today. Tell us why you picked who you picked.
What? Who's going to score touchdowns?
Uh-huh.
I picked Jalen because, well, it's Jalen Hurts. He's dual threat. I feel like we get in that red zone 4 or 5 yards. He's going to take it himself. To make a statement. AJ Brown, I see he was a little upset last week because they took him out the game a little early, but we was already up, and he got a little hurt. He been dealing with a little hamstring for the past couple of games, so he felt like he should have stayed in the game, but Sirianni took him out. So I feel like he probably gonna score a touchdown in there. I feel he got a chip on his shoulder. He want to get over that hump. He finally got over the first hump of winning a playoff game as the top seed. And then I feel like Christian McCaffrey, because he does so much. For them to be successful, he has to have the ball in his hand.
Peace, Wood.
And then I also picked Brandon Ayuk because I feel like the focus is going to be on Debo so much. When Debo get the ball and George Kittle, that I feel like somehow, some way, if they play that zone, that Brandon can get behind it and, take one to the house.
No doubt. We in the building, man, down in Sportstalk, man. We rock out.
We got to hear with that Niners talk.
Yeah, Woods. Yeah, Woods like, let's go Niners and all that.
Gotta hear that Niners talk.
Uh-oh. You know what I'm saying? So we in the building, man, every Tuesday night, 8 to 9 p.m., man. But we wanted to rock out, man, on Championship Sunday and just chop it up a little bit. We got a few minutes before kickoff, before we get up out of here. And we're going to get that hype pep talk pregame speech from Yada before we get up out of here. All right?
Oh, yeah.
What I mean?
Dolphins out, yeah.
Yeah, Dolphins, that's another story.
That's another story.
What matchup that I'm looking forward to seeing in this AFC Championship game between the Chiefs and the Bengals is Orlando Brown, the left tackle for the Chiefs, against the Bengals defensive end Trey Hendrickson, right?
Yeah.
I think, like we talked about when we jumped off, winning in the trenches is going to be important. I think that the kid Brown was beaten. The Jags got at, and was making life hard for Patrick Mahomes, as we saw, right? So it's going to be incumbent, you like that, right? Incumbent on Brown to really keep Trey Hendrickson, in front of him. So I think that's going to be an interesting matchup to watch in the AFC Championship. NFC Championship game, interesting matchup. You talked about it. Your guy, Josh Sweat, right? Against Trent Williams, again, in the trenches. You know what I mean? This guy's got to protect Brock Purdy. You know what I mean? The other guy, Josh Sweat's got to get at Brock Purdy. So it's going to be interesting to watch how those guys compete, for the hold-ins, the false starts, that type of stuff. the roughing the passer type thing. That's going to be interesting to watch and see what we get out of that as well. Real quick, before we get to Yada's pregame locker room speech to her Eagles, the rah-rah version, LeBron got jerked last night. Yeah. I'm not the biggest LeBron dude in the world, as you all know, if you rock with me, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, LeBron got jerked last night, man. That was a bad one. He should have got that one, man. You know what I mean?
These
Yeah,
refs,
go ahead, Yada. I know you want to talk about that a little bit.
The refs. The refs. That is the problem. Like, my man is standing right there underneath the basket. He's watching the play. It's clear as day. Jason Tatum hit him right on the arm. You see LeBron hand, and then you see Jason hand right here on top of him. Right on top. It's like he's trying to hold his wrist. And you don't call that. And then what and then you to add insult to injury, you go look at the replay. So now all of y'all zebras, even though they don't wear even though they don't wear stripes, they still zebras. They all huddle up around the screen and they watch the play.
Listen, all of y'all blind as hell,
and still don't call it.
Yeah,
what's the point of having replay if you don't even call the foul? Like, they need to really, really take a look at all of these refs and hold these guys accountable for their actions. And the only way to hold them accountable is by tapping their pockets. We have to find them, because who knows what these refs are out here doing. That missing that call on LeBron will make me think that this guy is betting on the game, or he got somebody betting on the game for him, because that foul was so clear and blatant, and it changed the results of the game. Because if they would have called a foul, LeBron would be at the line shooting 2. All you gotta do is make 1. The game is over. But no, don't call it. They're going overtime, and the Lakers lose. So it's crazy.
I'm sorry, Wood. He's a Laker fan. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry.
No, listen, I feel your pain. I'm on it because I'm tired of all of these refs. I'm tired of refs in the NBA and NFL. I'm tired of the umps in Major League Baseball.
Major League Baseball, they're the worst.
It's ridiculous. And that last night was just out of this world. I was like, what? I don't know.
Yeah, so that's what that is right there. So we are here. We are in the building. We get ready to get up out of here, because it's about to get kickoff. Got to let Yada do her thing, get in a seat, get ready. She's getting hyped and charged, as you can see over there. So now we come to the part of the show right here where the Eagles are getting ready to go out onto the field. You know what I mean? They got their fan right here. You know what I mean? Ready to give them that speech, that motivation, that to make them go and go out there and bring that NFC Championship home, so they can get ready to take that trip in a couple of weeks. The floor is yours. Talk to your team.
Listen, this is it. It's no going back. Right now is where we cast these checks on all of their asses.
All of their asses.
All of it, okay? All of the disrespect that we have.
All the disrespect.
All week long.
All week long.
All week. The total disrespect all week. It's all good. Everybody bets against us. They don't believe in us. They keep saying, oh, we ain't play nobody. We ain't play nobody this season, which is crazy because then my whole division made it to the playoffs. So when you talking about I didn't play nobody, we played everybody that was in front of us, and we beat majority of everybody that's in front of us. Again, the goal was not to be undefeated. The goal is to make it to the Super Bowl. Then we're 1 game away, 4 quarters away to achieving that goal. Let's make this happen. Let's go out here. Let's win this chip, and let's shut everybody down. Because guess what? We are America's team. We are America's team. There's so many Eagles fans out here. 49ers fans going to invade Philly. Come on now.
Uh-oh.
Come on now. Where are you at? Like, get it together.
Listen, I was in Philly a couple of days ago, and listen, I don't think you would want to be a 49ers fan walking around in Philly. I don't think that's a safe proposition for you.
Oh, listen,
you know what I mean?
They know how we treat them.
It's a certain situation going on in Philly that they don't play that.
Nah.
So now is the day where all the checks get cashed.
That's right.
All the talk gets dealt with, and we get ready to find out who's going to be, at the Super Bowl thing. All right. So left-handed in the building at RM Des on Twitter. That's YADABEAR over there. All right.
Like, go Birds.
I got there you go. I got Eagles and Bengals. Yada's got Eagles and Bengals.
Yep, Eagles.
We'll see what happens. Good luck to everybody. Hope nobody gets hurt. Seriously, got to take that into consideration these days.
Yes.
And again, sorry, Atlanta. It happens. You know what I mean?
Refund those tickets.
Yeah. Now you can use those tickets on something else. Buy some more Doritos or something for the
right.
Super Bowl. Yo, we out, man. Left-handed right here, YADABEAR right there. We'll talk to y'all later down at Sports Talk, man. Tuesdays 8 to 9. All right, we out. Don't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Peace. Yeah.